Doodlebud here. Today I'm going over my top EDC gear. That's everyday carry. I've had several requests for a video like this, so let's just get started. And we're starting with pocket pens. Now I'm going to go through inks and papers and all sorts of different things as well, but everyday carry, the epitome of that is your pocket pens. Now, I'm not necessarily carrying all three of these on me at all times, and I do have many other pocket pens, but these just seem to be the ones I go to all the time. First up, this is the Enso Pocket Puma. It's all in titanium. I love a titanium pen if you've watched my channel for any length of time. It's a cartridge-only one, but it is just lovely. I love the feel of it. I love the weight of it. The look of it is a custom anodized job I did myself. I have some videos on different titanium anodizing, but this pen's quite nice. It has a number 6 size nib. Bach nib is what Enso uses. Threads are good, screw to post, super comfortable. It's just a mini version of his full-size pen of this. This is called which is the Puma. This is the Pocket Puma. And whether it's the full-size or the pocket one, I quite enjoy it. And it's just, I don't know. I go around with this pen all the time. If I'm not doing that one, I'm probably going to do this one. This is my Gravitas pocket pen. This one's in full stainless steel. Don't mind the blemish there on my thumbnail. Got bashed a little bit. This is quite a heavy little pocket pen, but for my hand size, it still works. I quite like it. It has a number 6 size nib as well. This particular one's fitted with Yovo. You know, if I had a titanium one, I might pick it over the stainless steel. This still works. I think the titanium version I might pick over the stainless, but it's still fantastic. I love it. This is also a cartridge-only pen. I like how the threads just spin right on. And the cool thing with this one is it has a flat spot. So the Enso, it does roll around, okay? The Gravitas, you can just put it flat like that. So I really do appreciate that with the pen. And this is a recent addition to the pocket pen family. This is the Namasu pocket pen they came out with. Titanium as well. I like titanium, like I said. So this didn't have a roll stop. This has a flat spot. This one has a clip. You can actually get it without a clip as well. I chose to get this with a clip. This one's also featuring a number 6 size nib. As you can see here, that is a Bach. And once again, it is a cartridge only pen. So none of these take converters. I do have some other pocket pens that accept converters. Some other ones that are plastic, different size nibs, all sorts of things, even vintage. But for whatever reason, the metal ones, in particular titanium and stainless, these are my favorite when it comes to an everyday carry pocket fountain pen. I'll say it now because I know people are going to ask. If you want more information about anything you're seeing today, check the description. I'll have all the details and links. I'll try my best to mention everything. On to the next thing I have with me all the time. If you're going to have pens, you got to have paper. Let's show you this. If you haven't seen me talk about these before, you just haven't seen the videos because I talk about these a lot. So number 1 on my list is going to be the Muji. So this is their craft cover. They have different paper you can get to fill it on the inside. Some even come with booklets. There's grids, there's blank, there's dots. And I really like it. What I like most about this one, it lies flat, which is nice. And you just do that. You pull the corners, they all pop open. You refill it. You do this. And like, it's just so simple and so slick. There are very different levels of Muji paper. I've done some testing, again, down in there. I'll have information, but I've been very, very pleased with this setup. I've been running this for a long time with the better quality Muji paper, but it's also still super affordable. Now, I know not everyone has Muji stores close to them. I think I have 3 within 20 minutes or something silly like that. So as a request, I tested this campus paper as an alternative to the Muji. You can just buy this on Amazon. These are the A5, and it fits in here as well. This works pretty well. The pricing is still good, but I still do prefer the Muji paper. If you want to see this comparison, there'll be a video. Now going up in size, this, I think it's the B5. Again, I'll have details down there. This is the Leutstrom 1917. This is a nice journal. This was sent to me as a gift, and I absolutely love it. It's the 80 GSM paper, a bit more of a creamy color to it. It's not as smooth as some other paper, so it's got a little more tooth to it, but I quite enjoy it. It handles the inks quite well. I do all sorts of notes on this, things I'm going to do for the channel, just other ideas I'm working on. I like the feel of it. It lays flat. It looks classy and sort of elegant. And it's got the double tags here. So if you're working on a few things, easy to get through. Flexible, but yeah, it feels really nice. I have really been enjoying this. Now, when I need a larger format, this is my go-to, Clairefontaine. This is in an A4. I think I got this at the Vancouver Pen Shop. Lovely stuff, very affordable as well, $8.50. There it is, yeah, it says A4 size. So I really enjoy this, in particular for practicing my writing, like maybe I'll be doing some calligraphy, stuff like that. The paper holds up well. I like the ring, I like how it lays flat, the format's good, and yeah, just it opens, lies flat. I just really enjoy the feel of this. Actually, over Rhodia, I've been preferring Clairefontaine over Rhodia, which sort of always seems to be the standard that everyone uses. This stuff, I will definitely be buying this as soon as I'm running out of this. I'm going to buy probably 3 or 4 to last me a while. It's summertime now, so the weather is lovely, but the challenge with fountain pens is when you get your paper out in the rain. So in particular, this little Muji book, this has 0 protection. I'm always paranoid if I'm leaving the car and I don't have anything to put this in. So this is from Lockbee. I'm going to be doing a full review on this soon. But they have this canvas, this wax canvas cover on here. I tell you, for my neck of the woods where I live, this is going to be great to protect my notes. So it has a nice cover on here. You can have different sizes. Lockbee, of course, has their own paper packets you can get. I believe it's the Tomoa River paper, which is amazing. But I could, you know, hodgepodge something if I really want to put my Muji in here as well. Keep your eyes out. I'll be reviewing this and some of their pen cases too. Now, of course, when I go to refill my paper supplies, I have to pay for it, so I better have my wallet with me. That's everyday carry for everybody. You've got to have your wallet with you. I've had a few recently. One fell apart, went to replace it, wasn't happy with what I got, and I have this one currently. I was very fortunate. PunCube reached out to me prior to their Kickstarter. Just went live July 30th, so I've had this about a month and a half before that. And I've been using this every single day, and I'm settled on what wallet I'm using now. It's pretty cool. It slides up like that. There's a few different models. This one's the Horizon, and so it has a smooth sliding mechanism. There's another one called Wasteland. It has sort of a ratcheting pinball mechanism, how it goes up. It'll do some clicks. And there's another one called Ripples. It has some waves on the top of it, and it's got a magnetic part to it. This one has a money clip that's on there. You can add that on. I think there's like an a leather billfold that can go on there. It's magnetic to hold bills that way. And this is all I carry. Like I don't have many cards for me. I got 5 of them. I got my credit card, my debit card, got my Costco down there, my Nexus, and then my driver's license. I'm not going to pull them out and show them to you for obvious reasons. But this thing has been fantastic. It has a few dings on it and stuff because I've dropped it. And so it's got a few little nicks and scratches on the corners. That's going to happen when you drop, you know, shiny, nice aluminum on the ground. But this thing has been fantastic. I really do enjoy it. I will say with this Horizon one, like the Wasteland, if you go on their Kickstarter website, you'll see the different models. It has sort of a grid and tactile feel. So if your thumb's up here, you can slide it up, no problem. With this one, just because it's smooth, you do have to make a point to go at the bottom or else it just won't work. So that's sometimes, you know, it could use a little more texture to it, but I get it, because they want it to be smooth. If that's a problem for you, I'd recommend one of the other ones. It's not a problem if you go down below, but yeah, if you want to slide up here, get the Wasteland or the Ripples one. The Kickstarter just went live. I think it's like 40% off, so the normal retail will be around $100. You can get it for like $59, $60. I don't know if that's US or Canadian. If you go on the Kickstarter, the first currency will show Hong Kong dollars, and it's like $500. That's Hong Kong dollars. So check your local currency, what it works out to. But I think it's very reasonable, especially for the early bird that they have going on, the 40% off. This thing's great. It nicely spaces the cards, which is a big one. You can get them now. It is a little tricky to get the one in the middle, a little bit like that. So sometimes you'll have to pull these ones out, and then you can slide it up, and there you go. But this thing's great. It's also got that sort of fidgety feel to it. It hasn't jammed up on me at all. That's the max you can do. You can't fit 6 cards. 5 is the max you can do. So if you need more than that, you're not going to like this. And I don't know how much I got on there, but maybe 120, 140 bucks in 20s. You can hold it in there. I'll keep my lottery ticket in there every now if I need to. I went to a hotel, slipped the room card in there too. So this thing has been great. Yeah, it's settled. I might even get another one as well, that Wasteland one that had that texture. Pretty cool job here. So check out the Kickstarter. Again, info down below. Now this was probably the hardest one for me to narrow down, was my EDC inks, because I switch up my inks a lot. I don't really have repeat ones to do. I'm always rotating through to kind of give everybody some love. There are some I just don't like and I don't use. Sometimes I give them away at pen meets and whatnot, but I started thinking about it. And so let's run through these. So first up is this Pelikan 4001 Royal Blue. One, it's very affordable. I like the color. And I really don't own cartridges. I don't really buy many cartridges. This is the cartridge I buy. So my pens that take cartridge only, Pelikan 4001 Royal Blue, that's the one. It's a nice color. Again, I have some other videos on this, or check Mountain of Ink. If you want to see great comparisons of different colors, go to Mountain of Ink. Fantastic website. Good stuff. I mean, it's not waterproof, but it's very easy to clean as well. So if I'm going to use a pen and not sure what ink I want to use in case I want to wash it out, I'm going to go with this one. I like the color. I'm a blue ink guy, if you've watched my channel for any length of time. So this is what I'll recommend for a lot of people just starting as well. Lovely color, can't go wrong, performs great. Now, if I want something that is waterproof, I'm going for this Octopus Fluids Write and Draw, in particular the Koi Blue. Again, it's a blue ink, so I like it. But it has that permanence to it. You can soak this stuff. It will not come off. Now, there is a bit of a caution because it's a pigmented ink, and they do say you're supposed to use it, but clean it out right away, right after. I'll leave this in a pen, I'd say for a month without any issues, and then I'll just give it a rinse out after that, and I haven't had any problems. I have left it in pens for longer just as a test, and it will gum them up a little bit. Pen wash, you'll need to use some like ammonia-based pen wash to clean it out. Just regular water takes forever. A little bit of pen wash cleans it right out though. This stuff's great. The color's wonderful, especially for important things. I don't like, one drop of water can ruin so much of your, whether you're doing drawings or notes or whatever. So I've been really partial to this Koi Blue. I have 2 bottles. As soon as this one runs out, I'm loading up the next one. The Monteverde Noir series of inks I enjoy quite a bit. The Ocean Noir and Smoke Noir I'm very partial to, and also Azure Noir. It's actually a name of an ink I use a lot in my writing samples and my reviews. I can't find the bottle. I think I took it to my office and I didn't check before I did the video, but that's a huge favorite as well, Azure Noir. I like the Noir brands of the inks, the lineup that they did. There is one, it's like a rose colored one. That's about the only one I have not been a fan of. It just was sort of lackluster. These two and Azure Noir, love the colors and shading and performance. Great inks. And this is a new one from Pure Pens that I recently picked up. This is their Coronation Blue. It's a lovely, again, it's a blue ink. Imagine that. Been very fond of it. I love the color of it, how it flows. It performs well. The pricing seems good. They have a, it's on Shopify is where I picked this up. Bunch of other stuff too, but very, very happy with this Coronation Blue. And if I'm going with a black ink, again, I've been very fond of this Private Reserve Ultra Black. It does dry pretty darn fast, which I appreciate. Seems to perform well even on cheaper paper too, which sometimes I have to use. You don't always get to pick the best paper that you're using for that day. I don't like the bottle design. It's quite messy, tough to fill. It's so wide, but then you put a big nib pen in there and it's got any ink out of there, you have trouble filling. So I wish they updated the bottle design, but this Ultra Black, I like the color of it. Kind of reminds me of a Sharpie a little bit. But yeah, quite nice. Another thing I never leave the house with, and I'll turn back if I forget them, are my headphones. These are fantastic. These are by Ankbit. They're the E700. They're not a premium model. These retail for, I think, about $65 Canadian on Amazon.ca. And I have to tell you, for 65 bucks, they're pretty damn good. The sound is great. Battery lasts a long time. I've had zero issues with it. Connectivity has been great. I've had problems connecting to my phone, especially when I'm at the gym. Everyone's got their earbuds in or headphones, and it seems to screw things up with Bluetooth for whatever reason with other ones I've had. These ones, I've had zero connection issues. I can walk right from one side to the other in the gym, leave my phone in one spot, no problems. They have the noise cancellation as well. I haven't had headphones with that before. Fantastic, especially when there's loud spin classes or whatever class is going on. They have their music cranked. I make sure I hit the button. It blocks a lot of that out. Then I have my music. And the other thing I didn't realize with the noise canceling is you don't have to have your stuff as loud if you're attenuating the background noise. Super comfortable, adjustable. They fold up, all that stuff. Pricing is good. If I were to break these, forget them on a plane, or just something go wrong with them, I'm going to buy a pair right away. Again, I just don't feel comfortable spending the $350, $400 for super nice ones. I'm sure those sound way better than these do, but I toss mine around. I use them in the gym. When I'm writing, I really enjoy using these. If I'm going to focus on my writing, put some good music on. These just sort of eliminate all the other distractions, help me focus sometimes when I'm doing work as well. You got the Bluetooth microphone, so you can accept calls if you're doing some work too. So been very, very happy with these. If you're looking for a pair of headphones that are comfortable and won't break the bank, I've had great luck with these. Now, if you're going to be going around with your pens, you need to protect them. There's no way I'm throwing this just in my bag. And I will at the end. I'll be going through my top full-size fountain pens. But cases, that's a super important topic. You got to protect them, keep them together. I have one other case here I'll show in a minute, but these are 3 of the 4 that I use all the time. I sort of rotate through. This was my very first one that sort of stuck. I've been very happy with this one. I still don't know how to say the name, but it's like Girologio, something like that. I think the quality and stuff and materials have changed over time. Or at least for a period, it seemed like it was a little bit different, not as nice. But I've been very happy with these. I believe they're made in India. I bought this one, I think, from Pen Chalet. I can't remember. It has been a long time. This is their 2 pen case. They have a 3 as well. Magnetic closure, which is nice. I love this little feature. You just flip that down. So if you have a shorter pen, it just helps you get in there. I got my Lamy 2000, a Mont Blanc Noblesse right now. That's part of my EDC lineup. Really, really happy with it. Nothing's ever fallen out. I have dropped it with expensive pens. This has kept everything secure. This has saved my pens many times. Been very happy with it. I like the looks of it. This thing is gorgeous. If this was a wallet, my wife would have taken this. She loves this one. So this is from Pen Trendy House. They have some gorgeous cases from, they're from Korea, the South Korea, not North Korea. These things are just made so well. The zippers are gorgeous. The leather is fantastic. Construction, there's a few different sizes. There's a smaller one. I'm just sort of fond of this larger size and this, I forget what the color is, but sort of like a salmon color. They even have the gold foil with the debossing that they're doing in there. Just beautiful touch. The construction is fantastic. Really, really nice. If you need something to protect the pens in the wet, like I showed with the paper options and some other ones here from Lockbee, they're more smaller, compact one. I have one of their pen rolls, but this one's great because it does zip all the way. So again, wax canvas. In the review, I'm going to be doing a test with this with some water. This fits more the smaller pens. So here I have like a Jinhao 82 Kaweco Sport. I can't remember the largest pen you can fit in. You can't go too crazy huge. I think this is the Hongdian C1. So this particular one is meant for a little bit smaller. But yeah, especially when the rain starts coming and I'm going out and about, or if you're in the field with different things, you want something rugged, strong, and it's going to protect them and not have to worry about water. Again, it's not waterproof, but this will definitely help. And this case is probably just as popular as my 2 pen case. This one I got on Aliexpress. Again, I'll leave a link down below. They have a few different colors. Magnetic closure. I like that. I even engraved. This was the very first laser system I got. That's what I did with that. So that was kind of fun. But this thing, you can see it's got some wear and tear, some scratches and stuff, but it's held up absolutely fine. So I'm very happy with this one. And again, you got the tray that pops out. Can fit all sorts of pens. If you have something that's crazy large, maybe it won't fit, but I think this fits all of my pens. Everything's protected and safe. Again, I've had 0 issues. I have dropped it fully loaded. Nothing's come out. The magnetic has kept it. It didn't pop open. So these are very reasonable in the pricing. I can't remember off the top of my head. It's probably somewhere around, I don't know, $30 US. I think that's super reasonable. And now on to my pens. And I won't lie, this was the hardest part for me to do. The inks was tricky. This was way harder. I rotate my pens a bunch. I'm very fortunate. I get sent pens to review. I have to put those through the paces before I can do the reviews. So I always have new ones coming in and going out. I purchase pens as well. I want to try them out. And then I have old reliables and stuff. So I switch my pens a lot. But what I did is I took the approach to a popular video I did where I did like a 5-pen collection. So this actually holds 6. So when I want to fill this up, I kind of cover my bases and I think to myself, what do I need in order to have everything I could possibly need? So I will pick usually some type of retractable nib pen. There's not a whole lot of options out there. The ones I go for the most are the Enso Bolt. I got this early ahead of schedule, but I see a lot of people are now receiving theirs, and it seems a lot of people are happy with it too. I like mine, Enso Bolt, pretty cool pen, also titanium. And then a very affordable option. Yes, it's the copy of the Pilot Vanishing Point, but they did a fantastic job. The Mahjong A1, there's also the A2. There is the A3. I'm not a fan, but I'll usually pick either an A1 or A2. The black fish scale A1 is probably my favorite of the bunch, but they're a great pen. Retractable nib. You all know the deal with these things. If you don't, check out one of my videos. Super convenient, very well priced, and just tons of color options. Again, they don't have a ton of nib options. There are some other nibs you can get with them, but the convenience is fantastic. And for an everyday carry, again, if you drop it, you bang it, you lose it, it gets stolen, you're not so worried at the price point of this pen. For the longest time, my Mont Blanc 149 was with me 24/7 all the time. I still absolutely love the pen. I really, really do. It's classic. I ground the nib myself. I love how this nib writes. But I decided to take a little break from it and try other things. And Visconti Homo Sapien, Bronze Age. This is the older one with the palladium nib. I mean, just look at that thing. Super, super nice. It's a smaller nib than the Mont Blanc, but it's very soft, has a lovely feel to it, and it was also custom ground. Now, this pen didn't get used much because when I got it, there was nib problems. I bought it secondhand. I kind of know why they sold it. But now that it's all tuned up and just the way I like it, I really appreciate this pen. I love it. I love the feel of this resin. I got it also had a problem with filling. I did a video on that. It wasn't sucking up ink, figured out that problem. So it had a few little issues with it, but those have been corrected, and all I get to do now is enjoy the pen. And I have been going for this a lot. I haven't actually inked this up for several months now because I've really been enjoying this. I sometimes go to swap it out. I swap it back in almost instantly. Another thing I have been reaching for every single time, and I make sure my pen case has one of them, is one of my Pelikan pens. I actually have one other. I have an M805 in blue. Beautiful pen. But I haven't really been into it so much. This is my M1000 I recently got. This is a little bit of an older one, has a medium nib. I love the size. The nib is bouncy. It has a very unique feel. I love it. This is a vintage one. This is a 140, has a semi-flex nib. It's small and compact. I didn't think I'd like it, but I've gotten used to it, and the nib is just blissful. And this is a recent acquisition. This is an M400, has a broad nib. This is in tortoise. I think it's super classy. The nib is buttery smooth, feels fantastic, and I love this one so much. I have an older one coming from the 50s on the way. It'll be arriving, and keep your eyes open for the video. Oblique double broad nib. I'm going to be so excited to try that one out, and that will be in the mix. For whatever reason, I've been on a Pelikan kick lately, so I always have one of my Pelikan pens with me. I gave it away a little bit earlier because they were in this 2-pen case. My Lamy 2000, I've used this one a ton. It's with me a bunch. It's got some dings and nicks on it. That's totally okay with me. For a while, I was a little frustrated with the nib because the extra fine wasn't the extra fine I was hoping it was going to be. It wrote quite wide, very wet. I enjoyed it, but I did want it to be a little bit different. So I ended up grinding the nib to a cursive italic. It's extra fine cursive italic. Again, you can see the video. Check the check below in the description. Now I love it. It writes just the way I want. Has some nice line variation. Such a reliable pen. I cannot say enough good things about the Lamy 2000. Some people hate it. I'm one of the folks who absolutely loves it. And this was a bit of a shocker to me. Was this vintage Mont Blanc Noblesse? I normally don't like thin pens, but something told me I will like this one. And so it's the full gold. Again, normally I don't go for that either, but it just fits, and what really does it is the nib. Check the review if you want more information, but it's nice and soft. It has a little bit of an architect flair to it, which is quite unique, But for whatever reason, I don't know, it just fits. This was my #1 pen that I gave in 2023 of new pens I received in 2023. This got the top spot. There's just something about this kind of slim gold colored pen. Absolutely love it. Another thing I like to have with me is some pens with flex. So if I have a little time or just feel like spending a few minutes practicing some nice writing or especially flexing, I want to have a flex pen with me. This is the latest edition. This is the Magna Carta Mag 650. This thing is fantastic. The Mag 600 is really good too. Mine had a little bit issues with the nib, but when I first got it, I've fixed those. It writes perfectly now. But this one is just a little softer. I like the shape a little bit more. I cannot get enough of this pen. Another one I'll use very often is my Pilot Custom 912. This has the FA nib. It also has an aftermarket feed on there, ebonite feed, 3-slit feed to improve the ink flow. And the nib has also been custom ground by Josh Lax. If you want to see him in action, I have a video on that. He did a great job showing him grinding this tiny little nib. It's sort of like a needlepoint, almost like I guess like a Spencerian type deal. So it has an ultra thin hairline when you do your writing, and nice flex with it as well. It is a little more scratchy because it's such a fine point. But that's the trade-off. You get that fine hairline. This isn't quite as fine on that cross stroke, on that hairline stroke, but it's really smooth, super soft, and I really love it. If I don't want all the flex in the world, these do flex quite a bit. This flex the most. That's where the Pelican 140 comes in. It's natural, it's simple, and it just adds a nice flair. I really like it for printing as well. If you want a little flair on your printing, the semi-flex nib is great. And another pen I usually always have with me, I kind of alluded to it earlier, is a test pen, something that I've been sent for review. I just recently did a review on this Magna Carta pen. When this came in the door, I had to do some testing with it, try it out before I did the review. This was the latest one that's come in. This is the Mahjong TI-136. So this is the titanium version of their popular P-136. This review might be out before I do this EDC one, depending on my scheduling, but I've been using this one. I really enjoy it. I wasn't a huge fan of the P-136. Like, I liked it, but it just dimensionally didn't work for me. This one I enjoy. This might end up being an everyday carry, like kind of popular in the mix. I don't care for the trim as much. They should fix that up. I'll talk about that in the video, but it's quite comfortable, but this is just an example. I always have 1 to 2 pens, whether it's new nibs I'm trying out, or I modified a pen, whatever it is, like this C1, I put a bent nib on that. So there's all sorts of things. I'm always trying new stuff out. So usually I always have a test pen with me in my EDC. We covered a ton of ground, and I got a ton of stuff I got to clean up and put away to shut this down. So anyways, there we go. If you have some questions down there in the comments, I'll do my best to chat with you. If you can do me a favor, hit the thumbs, hit subscribe. If you do those things, we'll catch you next time.